Hi, welcome to Conversion Conversations. This is Cameron, and today I'm taking a look at Transformers Generations Age of the Primes Aerialbots Slingshot. Slingshot here turns into a cute, kind of squat, kind of chubby version of a British aerospace Sea Harrier. And it's, pretty G1 accurate. Big things that I don't like about this mold, because the arms form the front of the jet, you kind of have, instead of like your round intakes at the front end, now they're like boxified. I don't think that's something that'll bother people. I don't love the kind of profile like this. This is not really the right cockpit. Again, the Aerialbots are really tough for me because the Transformers fans don't care about the things that I care about because they're not like aviation enthusiasts. And that's totally fine and it's totally valid. I will say from a toy perspective, I think one thing that this toy succeeds at is the robot folds up really, really nicely. Specifically because, like, yeah, you're fucking up the intakes up here, but like, look how much of the robot is hidden. And because, and this will play more in bot mode, because the bot is so plain, like this is one of the better hidden robots in a jet that we've seen in a little while. We have the classic like downward sloped wing on the Harrier. I think those look really, really good. We've got, our single tail fin. We've got the right sort of detailing and paints look really nice. I like the stripe that goes along the back, even if it doesn't connect all the way. We don't have any casters or anything. We have the teeniest, tiniest, dinkiest landing gear. Look at that thing. And we have some fake molded landing gear pieces back here. We do have two ports if you have stands. You could put them up on stands. I packed up all my stands as part of the move, so I can't show that off. He does, I'd say, look pretty good next to his buddy Air Raid. Both of them look like cute toy versions of jets, which again is the thing that doesn't appeal to me so much. I want model jet looking proportions rather than like toy jets. And I want to apologize. Last time I mentioned this guy didn't have landing gear. He actually does have the gear molded into his feet. If you see here, it's just part of the foot. And then he does have this little flap, which is part of his chest that can open out. I don't think it looks great, but both of them do have, semi-functional landing gear. So that at least is nice. Now, my current my current Slingshot, which I've basically had since he's come out. You can tell how old he is by how yellow he's gotten over the years. But here's what I'm talking about. The difference in the proportions on these canopies, the way these inlets look. Oh God, they look so nice on this version. Like when I'm talking about the classic downward slope wings, like obviously these are segmented so you can like fiddle with them a little bit. But here you can see much better what I'm talking about, like a forward profile compared to this version. Same thing with like the tail wings aren't, as accurate as they could be. For someone who likes the plane, this does it for me so much more. And again, we get like our little some classic pieces. Like this is an easily identifiable section of the tail. This is an easily identifiable section of the nose. Those sorts of details on this toy would have been nice to help really sell that. Yes, this is, a Harrier. But again, this is my personal taste. I like this version because it's a bigger jet, which I like the big jets. And then, of course, it's a more accurate version, even if it's still a toy. Now, all that being said, this is a Transformer, so we will be transforming it. It is simple enough. Again, we're going to pop off the weapons like so. These two blasters come off the wings. We can fold the wings back. We can open up the bottom of the jet, which lets us open up the back of the jet and accordion everything out nicely, closing things back up. We can take our toes and we can fold them up. We can take our wing tail fin and we can fold it back, splitting our legs, and we have those done. Next thing, we can come up top. We're going to pop up the canopy, fold it back, fold it in, and those tabs will sit right in these slots here. We can come in and we can open up these arms like so on either side. Sweet. And then we can flip out the arms, twist them around. The landing gear we just retracted back into his head. And the last thing we do is flip around his head to reveal what I think is the ugliest head sculpt and head design in Transformers history. This is like, monster head sculpts look cool. Beast Wars mutant head sculpts I think look cool. This guy is just ugly. This guy does not look like a robot that is saving the world. He looks like an accountant that lost his hair a long time ago and just needs to come to terms with it and shave his head and grow a goatee. That, I recognize this is how the G1 head sculpt look. It's terrible. That is so stupid. It is all orange. It's like a slightly different version of orange in his goggles than his face. And it's bald. He's just bald. He just looks like a bald man. We do have these blasters. We can put him in his hands. I think that looks really dumb. But the short, here's a time when the short handle length works to your advantage. You can put him in his forearms. And I think they look really sick right here. So this is, get it in there, Slingshot in his robot mode. And again, I think this guy just looks plain and kind of lame. It's not the most distinctive or colorful or attractive robot mode. What we have is a pretty posable toy. We've got, nice posability on the neck. Once again, I wish the head could tilt up all the way so we could do a flying pose. But we do have 360 on the shoulders. We've got a nice double joint so you could get some extra shoulder action if you really want to get things like up as high as possible. We've got some high bicep swivel. We've got a double jointed elbow, which I do appreciate a lot. We don't have wrist articulation, which is a shame because I feel like there's enough chunk here that it could have a mushroom peg and a to be two pieces in a swivel joint. We've got waist swivel. We've got definitely a nice deep Van Damme going higher than the horizontal plane. Can kick up that high, can go 90-degree on the knee bend, and can kick back that far. Does have thigh swivel. You could, I think, no, you can't. I was trying to think of a way to cheat to get more than 90 degrees, but I don't think you can do that. And you do have ankle tilt here. So again, decently posable. He just looks so plain. I don't know, there's a black stripe, there's red, there's white, and then just the orange on orange face. He looks like a man in an astronaut costume got really, really sunburned. That being said, that's probably what you like as a viewer. If you're a G1 fan, you like this, you sickos. I don't I don't know. To me, it just does nothing for me. But I recognize it has its appeal. Now, we can put him next to Air Raid. And again, we're getting this picture of what the team's going to look like. And to me, it just seems kind of boring. And that's probably my biggest two problems with the Aerialbots. I should like them. I like jets and planes. I love that stuff. But they are boring robots and they're not very good planes, so there's not much appeal here. Comparing them, of course, to my Slingshot, we can put him in the back, despite the fact that he's yellowed and he's maybe a little bit back heavy. I think it's just more visually interesting. I like this head, even though it's super not G1, I like that head a lot more than I like, these guys. That being said, the only other thing to look at would be his limb mode. We don't 100% know what that's going to look like yet, but you can separate the waist here. I think he comes in half. These guys do. If we lift up this section, I'm 90% sure all I need to do is pull this apart, but I'm trying really hard and it's just not going, and I really don't want to break the toy. So I'm going to wait and we'll take a look at his limb mode when we do the full Superion. There will be directions there. I know I've seen online people have already done that mode. I'm just a little paranoid about breaking something right now. So that is a look at Slingshot. Hopefully, if he's for you, you're able to pick him up. As one of the Wave 1 figures, I imagine he'll be easier to get. Hopefully, the Wave 2 and 3 Aerialbots will be easier than the Stunticons were. But the plan, again, is this is not going to be a giveaway because I'm going to do a giveaway when I have all the Aerialbots together to show off. We'll do a full review, and then we'll figure out what we're doing there, if it's a charity raffle or what we're doing. But thank you everyone for indulging me. As you're watching this, Hannah and I are moving or have moved into our new house. So this is the last review that I'm doing in our old place. Thanks for watching, everybody. Catch you on the next one. Bye.